Prime Minister, you and I also discussed the situation in Ukraine. At the summit, I expect allies will agree a leading role for NATO in coordinating and providing security assistance and training for Ukraine. I also expect allies will agree a long-term financial pledge to provide military support.
And
this will provide the predictability and accountability that Ukraine needs. Prime Minister Orban has made it clear that Hungary will not participate in these NATO efforts, and I accept this position. And I'm glad that today the Prime Minister and I have agreed on modalities for Hungary's non-participation in NATO support to Ukraine. No Hungarian personnel will take part in these activities, and no Hungarian funds will be used to support them. At the same time, the Prime Minister has assured me that Hungary will not oppose these efforts, enabling other allies to move forward. Thank you.
Köszönöm szépen, főtitkár úr. Kettő rövid kérdés.
Secretary General, we have time for two short questions. First, it's the Hungarian National Television. Thank you very much. Hungarian Evening News. Prime Minister, I would like to ask you, what is the guarantee that Hungary will not be forced or coerced by NATO into any undertaking in Ukraine? There are two guarantees we have. One is the Hungarian government, and the other is, of course, the Secretary General of NATO, who quite clearly elaborated that he does not have any intent to this end, and the Hungarian government has a very clear stance on the Ukrainian-Russian war. We are not children. It is not worth chasing illusions. This is a very, very difficult political issue. The whole invasion of Russia raises a lot of issues in the global politics as well. It is not easy in this situation to find the appropriate answers. And there will always be times, moments in time when decisions have to be made urgently, when there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and one of these times are just now. The Secretary General has said, especially because of the NATO summit, in these decisions we have been able to articulate the Hungarian position and to come to a fair agreement with the Secretary General. But as I've said, this difficult period has not come to an end. Once the NATO summit is over, there will be difficult moments when again there might be decisions, difficult moments that might raise the issue of involvement in the war in that phase. But those decisions will have to be made then. So I can only undertake any guarantee that I've done at the elections on Sunday. When the decision comes, when the moment comes, I will represent a position that is equitable for Hungary, and I will try to have that informed. Thankfully, the founding documents of NATO make it clear that for any out-of-area operations and participation therein can only be voluntary. And this is a right that has been quite clearly guaranteed by the Secretary General, repeated, reiterated. Therefore, Hungary continues to have a room for movement in the forthcoming difficult moments that might arise. Anyway, now let us rejoice that this discussion today has concluded with an agreement. Hungary has made it clear that she does not want to, and she is not able to change the decision of 31 other member states. And I'm very happy that NATO has acknowledged, through the person of the Secretary General, that Hungary wants to fully avail herself of the opportunity for a room for movement, for consideration that is guaranteed by NATO. And we've been given the guarantee today that when it comes to the Russian-Ukrainian war, when it comes to military out-of-area operation, we do not have to participate in that Hungary will not provide funds or personnel for this war, nor will the territory of Hungary be used for any involvement in this war. So we have been granted everything that we have found necessary, we have deemed necessary. This was a difficult, but I believe very constructive discussion with the Secretary General. I'd like to thank him for this very correct agreement in the end.
Reuters, kérem.
Reuters.
Reuters.